All right, guys, I totally get it. I'm an old guy out here talking on YouTube and such about investing. And if you've been watching this channel for any length of time, or you're in my group or whatever the case is, you know I've been investing for almost 30 years, but yet I see this same exact mistake over and over and over again that has happened over the past 30 years. Now, yes, I have made these exact mistakes many times before, so this is coming from experience. But right now, many of you are making this big mistake with AI and everything else that's going on right now, kind of the big, sea change that's going on right now with AI, and it's going to destroy your gains and future wealth. And I would agree, AI is the future, okay, to be abundantly clear. But most of you will also completely miss it or screw it all up to begin with, and here is the dirty secret that I have to have. Just make sure you understand this right up front. So will Wall Street. They're going to completely screw this all up, but they will make millions while you lose everything and never invest again. I saw this during the tech bubble. It was obviously internet is the future, but that's the exact scenario that played out. Wall Street screwed it completely up too, but they still made millions while everybody else lost out and didn't get the wealth that they should have gotten from that, particular event, that particular sea change in the world. And we're having that exact change right now today. And a lot of folks, matter of fact, most everybody out there is going to miss it once again. So I'll give you the exact reasons why and how you can make a ton of money instead of basically losing in the end and you end up quitting investing and missing the next huge opportunity that has honestly only happened, once, back in the late 90s. Here we are again in the 2020s, and it took over 20 years for the next opportunity to come around. So I don't want you guys to miss it again. So make sure you like the video if you like getting the truth out the hype. That is exactly what you're going to get today, guys. And I'm just being upfront and honest. I lived the tech bubble days right in the middle of it. Now, you could argue, and I would agree, that during that time the internet was actually a bigger game changer than what AI is going to be. Okay, imagine a world with no internet whatsoever. Right, it just is unfathomable at the time. And prior to the internet, people didn't own computers. Most people didn't. I know I sure as heck didn't. If I had a phone, which came much later, it was still a flip phone. It didn't do anything. I still wouldn't go to the internet for information. I would still go to the dictionary, to an encyclopedia, to the library, things of that nature. That's how much the world has changed. Definitely no companies were on the internet back then like they are now, where every company and everything you do is on the internet. Now, I agree, AI is great, but it needs the internet in order to, basically function, right? The internet does not need AI. So imagine a business with no online presence because online didn't exist. That's kind of the deal. Now, I'm not saying AI isn't game changing and it's not incredible or anything else. It absolutely is. It is the next level up, the next tier up in regards to game changing things in our, daily lives, the way we function, the way the world works, and everything else. It absolutely is. But to dismiss the internet boom as smaller than AI or not nearly as big as AI or anything else simply isn't true either. Okay. So you want to argue one way or the other, I can agree with that. But if you're going to argue them, the tiers are like here and here. Okay. The tiers are not, well, one's here, one's down there, or vice versa. One's here, one's down there. Right. But in regards to investing, everything is exactly the same. So here is the reality I saw and personally did in the tech bubble days. Okay. And I'm seeing everywhere today, and that is everyone is chasing. All right. We'll get into details here in just a second. However, in the long run, you don't make money chasing. It just doesn't work out for you as a retail investor. It doesn't happen. But Wall Street will absolutely make a fortune off of all this, despite the fact they will get it wrong. And it's why they always chase. Okay. Again, this will all make more sense here in just a second. Now, it's not because they manipulate stocks, right? That's what we love to talk about. Even though they do manipulate stocks, a whole different discussion, a whole different time. But that's not why they're going to make millions. All right. That's not why on this whole AI thing, despite the fact they're going to get it wrong. It's not because they have inside information or secrets or anything else like that. Okay. It's simply because of the first dynamic we will talk about today. And that is stocks up, they make millions, stocks down, you lose millions. Okay. Now, let me make more sense of that because I know that doesn't make sense. You have to understand the structure of Wall Street. And that is the key to why you cannot play their game. If you are trying to play their game, you're trying to follow Dan Ives, you're trying to follow all the different folks that are out there telling you to buy this, buy that. This is the next leg in the AI play, and all this other stuff around it. You can't play their game because you aren't playing with other people's money. Game isn't rigged in your favor. And I don't mean rigged in terms of anything illegal. I mean rigged in terms of they have it set up there in the first place and people willingly give them money knowing the rules of the game. So if you don't know how Wall Street works, when they book a profit, right? They have no interest in buying a Palantir, for example, and waiting for it to hit a $2,000 or a 2,000% gain, excuse me. They have no desire in that because they make their money taking profits and they want a bonus this quarter, this month, depending upon how their bonus structures are. Maybe, this year, maybe at that stage, but they're going to take profits. So they're using your money. It's not their money. They're not playing with their money. They're using your money, clients' money. It comes in and let's say stock, whatever, runs up, gives them a nice 30% pop over the course of the year. They're going to take profits and they take a huge chunk of that profit and put it back in the fund. Now, if they make another bet and that bet happens to go down, guess what? They don't lose money. Just the client does. Their bonus doesn't decline because they messed up that trade and they had to get out of it at a loss. No, that's not how it works at all. Their bonus stays intact. So they are incentivized to take profits as fast as possible, as quickly as possible, because they make millions regardless. Yes, they want to chase the momentum. They want to chase the game, not because, oh man, this stock went from $20 to $60 per share, and we really think it'd be a $500 stock in the future. They're not waiting until it hits $500. And more importantly, it doesn't matter to them if it hits $500 or not. It just doesn't. Matter of fact, if it rockets up to 60 and they decide to get out right there whenever they're telling you to buy in, right? And then they're going to short the heck out of the stock and they're going to make money and take a profit there on the way down. In the meantime, you lost out all the way around. You cannot play their game at all. That is why, despite the AI boom, even if it does exactly like the tech bubble did and booms and busts, let's just worst case scenario here, booms and busts, they're going to make a fortune out of that boom and bust period. That is the facts. And they're going to win long term because they're going to continue to play the game every single year the same exact way because they are playing a rigged game. I don't mean in terms of illegally rigged, like we just talked about, but they're playing a game where everything is in their favor. Everything works in their direction and they make money no matter what without the risk of the downside loss. As long as they can talk more people into investing in their fund, which is all they have to do, is get more people to invest in their fund. And there's a lot of dumb money out there, unfortunately, guys. They will continue to make millions, if not billions, into the future while you were chasing the same exact things, but you have all the downside risk because it's your money, your capital, your everything. You are taking on the full amount of risk and you're playing a game where they don't care. They are just simply trying to make the quickest trade possible in order to take the largest bonus. That's it. That right there is the first reason why playing their game and why you will ultimately lose chasing stocks. That applies during any time, but especially during times like right now, like AI. Absolutely, that's why you're going to lose. Now, the second reason is hindsight is going to trick you. I see it all the time in my comment section. Well, if you would have bought this instead of that, and then traded over here into this, and then bought this, yeah, anybody can go back and look and see what the winners were and then say, I should have bought, or I would have bought, or in some cases, some folks try to say that they did. I swear there's trillionaire investors down in the comment section with how often they are right with their, trades and such. But hindsight will give you that false sense of, oh yeah, if I just would have done this and gotten out right here and moved this over there and made all these different decisions, before you know it, you start thinking, yeah, I could definitely do this. I can definitely trade my way to millions. I can definitely pick the winners in hindsight and things of that nature. I knew that company was good. I knew it. All those other things of that nature that end up tricking you into believing things that just simply aren't true. Hindsight always tricks you. Hindsight is sometimes good to go back and get some lessons learned. But what inevitably ends up happening is, and it's just simply human nature, is like, oh, I knew that was going to go down there. Oh, I knew that was going to go up there. I knew. And of course, you forget all the times when you would have been completely wrong and why even the most sophisticated traders underperform dead people. But then you end up tricking yourself into thinking you knew something that you really didn't know. Okay. Which kind of leads me into number three, which is the best opportunities are never the ones discussed. Okay. They're just not. Palantir at $7 that really wasn't getting discussed a whole lot as the play during that time. That was not where you were supposed to put your money. You were supposed to put your money into something else. Same exact thing. Google was not the play when everybody was saying run away from it, right? Now, after it's almost tripled up, now all of a sudden it's the play and everybody wants to talk about it. And that cycle happens rinse and repeat over and over and over again because people are chasing. You're right. The momentum is not with Google during that time. I had no idea when it would turn around. But what I did know was it was an incredible opportunity and it wasn't being discussed hardly at all. Doesn't mean it was, I was the only one or anything else. I'm not saying that at all. but it was not the hot stock of the time. It's not the one everybody was saying invest in. And that seems to be the way it works. The best opportunities are never the ones discussed. Now, the next one is fundamentals will matter long term. That is something you hear routinely during these types of markets, during AI booms, during any sort of boom in any industry. Oh, fundamentals don't matter. Don't worry about that. Just buy the stock. It's the future, right? You hear that all the time in regards to that. But when you go look at the fundamentals, they're actually going in the wrong direction. They're actually in a spot where that's not good. Or when you view valuation by looking at the fundamentals, it completely misaligns. That's a problem. Those fundamentals are what matter long term. Now, in terms of the short term momentum, you're right. I'm going to be wrong 99.99% of the time because the stock is not trading on fundamentals at the time. But at some point in time in the future, it will matter and it will absolutely either make you a lot of money to the upside, right? If the fundamentals were really, really there, but the stock price was really beaten down, or if you were in the opposite scenario where the fundamentals weren't there to support a high price, a high valuation, it's going to come down. Those are just facts with the stock market there. So fundamentals will matter long term. And the last thing, and it's just basically a question you need to ask yourself is this sustainable or not? Okay. In regards to everything about AI, everything that's going on, there's always a huge boom. But inevitably, anytime something is new out there or there's some sort of an extreme, deviation of some sort, you got to ask yourself, is that sustainable or not? And it usually has to do with supply and demand. There's just a supply shortage for whatever reason. You see it all the time. People want to jump into, I don't know, there's a shortage in, I don't know, you pick the commodity there, shortage in a commodity, gold, copper, whatever. I guess not gold necessarily, but a copper or cobalt or something like that. And all of a sudden the price will rocket up and people are like, should I invest in that? And my first thought is that sustainable or not? Are we going to find an alternative so prices come down? Or is that we're going to move on to another material altogether to replace that to lower cost? Yeah, that's probably what's going to happen in regards to that sort of stuff. So it's not sustainable, meaning it's simply a momentum, it's a trade, and you are chasing. But it's an easy question to ask yourself with all of these particular companies. Data centers is one that comes up. It's an example we've been talking about in the group for a very, very long time there, especially whenever they had their big boom there at the beginning. They're needed. Absolutely. But will there always be a shortage in data centers? Is that always going to be the case? I'm not sure that's always going to be the case. Now, maybe so. Maybe you guys are experts. I'm not an expert in data centers, so it's not a question that I can answer. I let some of our experts in our group answer that question for us and there. But data centers, is the price that people are paying for these data centers right now sustainable long term? And if they're not sustainable long term, what are these companies going to do in the meantime in order to continue to increase profits, increase revenue, and increase the business, increase margins, and everything else into the future? That's a question. Now, there might very well be a good answer there, but that's the question you have to ask yourself. Is this sustainable or not? And then how is it sustainable? How are they going to be able to continue to project those numbers? Because that's where people get in trouble, right? There's this incredible shortage of some sort. So the prices are obscenely high, not sustainable at all. But of course, people get in there and they project out the next 5 years that prices are going to stay that way or go up even higher, and they end up getting themselves killed because they're trying to justify. And remember, Wall Street's pushing these crazy valuations. Don't worry about valuation. Doesn't matter. Just pay anything for it. It's the future, blah, blah, blah. And you end up in these crazy scenarios where you end up paying a lot of money and thinking this growth rate is sustainable for the next 5 or 10 years, when the reality was that growth rate was going to plummet if you actually look at the history of, whatever that is that they're looking at, or you just look at the reality of, okay, at some point in time, somebody's going to figure out how to lower the cost in these, and it's not sustainable. And you should have been doing your valuations and all your analysis based upon a much more reasonable growth rate. Ask yourself, is it sustainable or not? But I know you guys are wondering, you want me to answer the question, how do you win with AI? How do you win in this particular trade, this particular environment? Just like trying to win during the tech bubble and all that sort of stuff, it's pretty much the same exact playbook that you need to use right here during AI or any other time in the market, actually, okay? Those 5 things we just discussed are the pieces of the puzzle, the big pieces of the puzzle. Of course, there's little pieces too here, but just for the sake of keeping this video not, an hour long, these right there, those right there, the big 5 pieces, put them all together so that way it all makes sense and you can kind of see the whole picture here, okay? If you're following, I don't know, Dan Ives, any of the other analysts that come on CNBC or anybody else, or you're watching social media accounts where they tend to parrot a lot of what they say or that are following them, whatever the case is, they're leading you to what makes Wall Street the most money, okay? That's the fact. I mean, as much as you can make money following those folks and such, the reality is over the long run, they are playing Wall Street's game. They are going to make the most amount of money because they are playing a completely different game than you, like we just talked about. Don't play their game. Play your game, which is completely different, which is going to go against their narrative at various times. That's the reality. Dan Ives was the same exact guy telling you, hey, buy Tesla at four, whatever the heck it was back in 2021, because we see 480 right around the corner. And this is easily, maybe 800, maybe thousands in play here very, very shortly in regards to Tesla. Now, here you are almost 5 years later, and you're still down during that time. Don't play their game, play yours. Okay. If it's all the rage, most likely fundamentals are not there yet or they're not sustainable. Understand that. Understand that when a stock is all the rage, not always, but most of the time, the fundamentals are not there yet. They could be on their way, or the fundamentals are there, but they're not sustainable. Okay. Look where others are not looking. Find fundamental performance and then check the valuation. And every time I hear valuation doesn't matter or it's the future, I almost know it's coming down at some point for sure. Because remember, a good company bought at a bad valuation can destroy a great investment, and even picking the right company. If you buy it at the wrong price, it turns into a bad investment. Even if it's the greatest, most game changing company ever, you will get a chance to buy it at a reasonable valuation at some point in time. And here's a fact for you, 100% fact. That has never not been true once in the history of the stock market over the long run. Not once has that not held true. And the most recent example that everybody knows, Tesla is the best example of people not believing this 100% true stock market reality and getting destroyed. And I'm sorry, Tesla fans, you haven't had to pay for the future one time, not once. I've owned the stock for a long time now, and I've never paid for the future one time. It has had multiple periods since IPO where it traded at very reasonable valuations. It's not all the time, I would agree there, but it has had times where it's traded at very reasonable valuations, and those that are patient are up massively on every single share that I've ever bought and that they've ever bought. While others that believe the narrative that valuations don't matter and this company's different and they're the future and you have to buy, all the people that bought into that, they have been at various times or are sitting on dead money for almost 5 years now, if you believe the hype back in 2021. That's reality, guys. That's the fact. That is what the math says. That's not a knock on Tesla or any other stock that fits into that category. It is simply the reality of the market. So keep those fundamentals in mind. Be prudent with your valuations. Don't chase. That's Wall Street's game. They make money chasing until it blows up, and then they still make money on the way down a lot of times. You won't. You blow up your own portfolio at that stage. And most likely, by the time you've heard about it and done your due diligence and everything else, the valuation is already crazy and you need to wait. And there's going to be a lot of hype and a lot of things that aren't sustainable. Keep all those sort of things in mind. Stay grounded. Don't chase the quick buck today. There's nobody out there that's trading their way to millions of dollars every year and they're up, I got a 5X in this one, then I got out of it at the perfect time and I jumped over here into this one. Guys, that's all social media BS. It doesn't happen. If it did happen, we'd have trillionaire investors. There are no trillionaire investors. Don't buy into that at all. And if you want to learn how to be patient, confidently patient, because you understand valuation, you understand how to analyze the company on a very high level, and you understand to find and spot opportunity, and you want a whole group of folks helping you do all of that, and a free year's worth of Physical AI, which is a stock analyzer tool that it costs you guys out there. If you were to buy it today, almost around $1,000 or so, I give it to you completely free for annual members. Check out the pinned comment down there where you get that, plus free coaching, free courses, 5 free courses for you to take. The best 6, 7, and 8-figure Discord out there helping you become a better investor. Guys, there's so much involved in the group. Check out the pinned comment, see if a membership's right for you. And click this video here if you want to see exactly what I'm buying in this market. And click here to see my exact plan for this market. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.